Ugh, I thought I was done with those crappy dreams.
That was a weird one.
Great, you can read my mind.
Ignore me! Yes, I can.
Welcome to Venture Bros Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Grahamatron Mason.
Hello.
And Nick-A-Robot Friedemann.
Hello.
I like Grahamatron and just Nick-A-Robot. Like, I like the idea of the factory just going like, fuck it. I'm not thinking of a name for this one.
It's like somebody painted Nick and they were like, oh shit. I ran out of an idea. And I really painted myself into a corner. Just write a robot at the end. Who cares? Just get it out the door. Get it out the door.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking about this. I was like, I love how Helper's name is H-E-L-P, which I don't know if we get what that acronym is later, but then it's just lowercase E-R afterwards. It's like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Helper. Yeah, he's a helper. He is. That's what he does.
He helps. Ish. So today's episode, moving into that, this is a big one we got today.
So we've talked about, like, I think pretty much every episode this season, how we've talked about, we're like, oh man, I think this might be my favorite, or this is definitely the best that we've seen so far. This episode is definitely my favorite. And when we get there, one of the characters in this episode is my favorite thing ever of all time.
This episode has... I know the episode before has a moment that Nick and I really bonded over with the gun chucking and the go get it, because it's just so fucking funny. Another one that Nick and I bonded over, nothing to do with this episode, is Sam Jackson screaming please in Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
I just had to throw that in there. Please!
Hold on to your butts.
But this thing, I don't know how many times in my life, whenever my wife asks me something, why did they do this? I have the same response, which is science. But I remember Nick and I going over that for I don't even know how many times. It's just so
Oh my god.
fucking good. So yeah, this is on many lists of when you get to best episodes of Venture Brothers ever. This is number one on a few of those lists. Like, this is a big one. A Herculean effort, if you will. So we're talking about 20 Years to Midnight, if you haven't picked up on that yet.
Which you couldn't have, because we certainly didn't introduce it and just started talking random.
Well, if you're a Venture Brothers fan, when I say science, and, you know, people will remember it.
And, you know, it's a podcast. It's in the title.
It's also in the title.
That's true. All right, yeah.
Yeah. So you're wrong, Graham.
Before we move on, I also want to... I looked it up because Graham said he doesn't know what Helper stands for. It stands for Helpful Electronic Lab Partner Robot with the extra E for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to stand for.
Awesome. Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Very much Nick-A-Robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. All right, well, I think it's my turn to do a breakdown of what happens, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I think so. Okay, so I'll do this as quick as we can because there's so much to talk about this week. So this episode takes place during some spring cleaning. Brok finds an old video camera that has a message from Jonas Sr. to Rusty saying, you need to build this thing by your 42nd? I forget exactly which birth date it is. But
yeah, I think it's 44 and like a half or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like your 44-ish birthday, something, for the fate of the universe. So Rusty takes his entire family and they start globetrotting to find the 3 different pieces of this thing, including the piece they already have, a piece underwater, a piece at Impossible Tower, and they get Jonas Venture Jr., they get the captain, they get just basically everyone they can, and they do like a real old school Go Team Venture adventure to go find all these pieces, bring them together, and save the world from ending from a horrible alien that has been following them the whole time. But I don't know anything about that because I've just been ignoring him.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I was given specific instructions to ignore something in the beginning of the episode. I don't remember what that was, and then I've ignored it ever since. So where do you want to start with this one? Because like there's literally so much to dive into.
Yeah. So I did have a question regarding Jonas Sr.
Right.
In the end of the episode, we learned that when the alien comes back as Jonas Sr.'s body. Is the videotape in the beginning, is that actually Jonas Sr. or is that the alien setting the whole thing in motion?
Huh.
I would assume that was Jonas Sr. I don't know why, but it feels like...
I think it's the monster. I think it's the alien. I think it's the superior race trying to,
That would make a lot of sense.
I don't know. I don't see what the point of it would be. Like, I think they probably reached out
to save the world.
Yeah, but I feel like they probably reached out to Jonas Venture, the most, like, accomplished and worthwhile scientist in the world, and well, this guy can handle it, and he just kind of went, well, in case I die, I need my son to be able to take care of it.
Yeah, but I think that the big thing is that this episode is like well aware of how absurdly convenient everything kind of is.
Yeah,
in a weird sort of way. Like, I don't think that it's a downside of the episode at all. I just think that like they are aware of it and they handle it in a really good way. Yeah, which is just like never really acknowledging it, but like it's awfully convenient that they find that videotape. It's awfully convenient that like what I'm assuming is like the crossbar, or no, it's the base that's like buried under Venture Industries that becomes Impossible Industries.
Right.
So as they were digging it up, they found it, blah, blah. Like, all of this stuff didn't get destroyed. Like, there's a lot of convenience. And for me, it's like, it doesn't bother me, but it does make a lot of sense if it is the alien, because they've already shown that they have a lot of control.
That's what I think, too. Just because, like, how many things in this universe has Rusty completely destroyed or ruined just by pure, like, happenstance? Then for this to work out, for the human race to survive, I mean, I think there's just way too many coincidences along the way for this thing to actually work out that I think it's the alien from the beginning. But that was something that didn't crop up until, like, I don't know how many times I've watched this episode, but until the last time I watched it, I was like, oh, I wonder if the alien's been there the whole time.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if we get an answer to it. I don't think we do.
I don't think we do. I think it's an interesting theory, but I honestly, I'd have to rewatch it again with that in mind to be able to see whether or not I think it is or not. Based on what there was, I think it's one of the things that makes sense and could work, but I'm not sure if there's enough stuff there either way to say definitively if it is Jonas or the alien.
Right. Yeah. I think it works either way because obviously Jonas is this figure that looms large over the show, but is also very mysterious. Like, we purposefully do not get a lot of information about him. So, to me, it makes a lot of sense, but I could see it also the other way. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
It's
like,
a weird one.
I think it could easily go either way, and I don't think that I'm not sure if it's even one of the things that they thought about. Like, it could be one of those, like, if they heard us talking about it, they're like, huh, never really thought anybody would question this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. We can leave it there.
I really like it, honestly.
Yeah,
I think I believe it now. You've convinced me. I'm a believer.
Well, then I'm just not going to believe it to keep us, balanced. Even though there's three of us, so balance is impossible. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like a tripod where one of the legs isn't the same length.
It's shorter than the other ones. Yeah.
Perfect. I was going to go with longer, but whatever.
Shorter works for me.
Dick jokes.
But anyway, moving on. Speaking of longer or taller, the other alien in this episode, the Grand Inquisitor, 12 feet tall. This is oh my god. Of all of the characters, like random one-off characters that they create, bring up for one episode and drop, and I don't think we ever see him again, but I might be wrong about that. He's my favorite, for sure. I just love his interaction with the world. to every degree, and it warms my heart.
It's amazing.
I would agree he's the best one-off character, because I think there's a lot of really good one-off characters in this show, like that just pop up a lot. But he would probably be my favorite, just because it's such a ridiculous character.
Like
yeah.
I think my favorite, I mean, other than him screaming "ignore me" throughout the entire episode is great. But I think my favorite moment of theirs is when they're flying, and Dr. Venture has that crazy dream. He's like, "Oh God, I thought I was done with those crazy dreams. That was a weird one." Great, you can read my mind. Ignore me. Yes, I can.
I mean,
It's my favorite moment of the episode for sure.
it's such a great moment. It's so fucking funny. But like that's kind of like the character, and I'm kind of glad he's a one-off. Like I know that's like probably sacrilege to say to a lot of people, but
No.
I think they used him the perfect amount. Like if he was overused, I think we'd be tired of him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely. I mean, how many more times can you hear that "ignore me" thing? But I think you're exactly right. It's the perfect amount. We have him for just this episode, and then leave him, and then we can think back on him fondly, and then that's it. That's it.
Exactly.
And it
I
works.
also I want to bring up my favorite thing of, like, after rewatching it, the audio person inside me has to bring this up, is that the speaker is clearly like processed in a way that's just like a little bit too loud, but it also feels like the speaker's also worn out and blown out because he must say "ignore me" all the time. So the speaker that's like processing his voice is just struggling through so much use. That's it. That's the whole thing. I just think it's great.
I also love the first time he says "ignore" or anything. When Hank's like, "Oh God, he's so loud! I can feel him in my chonies."
So talking about the boys, then let's talk about we'll talk about the separate adventures people go on here to go get the pieces to save the day. I want to start with the boys going to see Colonel Gentleman. I was so upset when this episode first aired and I saw it because I was
man.
oh, I love Colonel Gentleman. I can't believe they already killed him. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so happy they agreed, decided that he's not dead. But
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, no. When I first watched it, I was like, and I, it's been a while since I've seen all of this again, and so as I was going through it, I was like, wait, I could have sworn he was still. Man, that's really too bad. I loved him, and I love just how weird he is, especially when they're going through his journal.
Oh my God.
Colonel Gentleman's list for toys.
Toys he wished he had as a kid. Which is, like, now that I'm older and watching this show, it's an insane list. I couldn't tell you any toys now.
No.
Like, I couldn't tell you anything. I can't tell you the last time I even went to a toy store. So the fact that he just rattled those off at the top of his head is insane.
And I love how he does it in voiceover. I mean, and I think that's hilarious too. Also, his list for actors who need a good smack in the mouth. That's one of my favorites.
So good.
Like, he's just such a weird fucking dude. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
And he doesn't get any less weird as the show goes on.
No.
But, like...
I think it follows a pattern of all of the old Venture team. Kind of like, you slowly realize that, like, yeah, I guess they were good at their job, but they're also insane. Either because of their job or they were picked because they were insane. Who knows? But definitely it kind of one fed the other, for sure.
Yes, 100%. Like, and it's like in a great way, but my God, like,
Yes.
to hang out with these people would be the worst, like the worst situation you could put yourself through. But the thing that I love about the boys finding Colonel Gentleman's dead body is it just speaks to how ruined their entire lives are. Like, just destroyed. Because they don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
They're nonplussed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it.
I didn't
Yeah,
write
they're
down-
like a little shocked, but they're like, oh yeah, all right, that's too bad.
But it's
Yeah.
more so shocked, like,
Another
oh,
dead body.
well, we had something we had to do with this guy, and now he's, dead.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm more worried about being around a dead body than being around his dead body. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
come on, you can't get cooties from a dead body. No, not cooties, cluties.
Like, he's making the weirdest freaking jokes for somebody who's just found, like, a dead family friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody that he's known, from his grandfather's time. Like it's, somebody that we would all be devastated to find.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, all right. Let's
Like-
read his journal.
Like,
Pretty
such an odd response. But let's move on a little bit. Let's go to the captain.
The pirate.
The captain and fucking Jonas Venture Jr. Like,
In Action Johnny.
Action Johnny might be one of my favorite side characters. Like, I know that's a really vague statement, but like, he's never my favorite. He's never my number one, but I do love it whenever he shows up. Like when later on in the season, they have some really great episodes with him. Like, and it's so nice that they were able to keep him around. Like, especially because, hey, we're gonna have Johnny Quest in the show. Like, clearly we've already had another Johnny Quest character. Here's another one. Somehow they keep letting us do this, and at some point between this episode and later on, they go, change his name. No more of this.
Yeah.
Which is
Needs
fine.
to be Action Johnny now, which
Yeah.
somehow fits the character better.
Yeah.
So much better. Like I like him as Action Johnny so much better than Johnny Quest. I mean,
Yes.
I understand the reference better as Johnny Quest, but it's just
But I think after it's been solidified, like you know what it is, and then referring to him as Action Johnny later is just like, oh yeah, that's who you are.
yeah.
For some reason, I'm obsessed with the weird scene with him having like the captain and Jonas Jr. at gunpoint, where they're just trying to help him, and he mentions like, "Oh, you're so and so's son," and he's like, "Whoa!" and he points the gun, and he's like, "Don't bring up my dad," and you're just like, "This is insane." Like, how did he get down there? And how long has he been down there?
How did he get down there? Why is he still down there? Like,
Who knows?
how is he doing all of these drugs while down there? Like,
Well, he's
there-
out of them now.
Well, yeah, but still, like, why doesn't he leave? Like, there's so many questions about Action Johnny that are very good questions, but I'm kind of happy we don't know any of the answers.
Yes. And I'm kind of happy they never really resolve it. Though it is weird that Jonas Venture Jr. is a little upset at the end, and the captain is like, why? Why are you upset? You got what you wanted. And it makes me feel like either they cut something out or I'm missing something.
Yeah. I mean, they made reference to him being a doctor and trying to get him prescription pills and stuff like that, but then it's like, and then they just kind of dropped that. And so, yeah, I feel the same way of like, am I missing something, or did I not put two and two together somewhere, or what? So, I wish there was more to that.
I hadn't even thought about it. Like, that's something that never really even dawned on me. So maybe whatever
It
they
bugs
cut
me
out.
every time. It bugs me every time I watch that.
Huh. I'd have to rewatch it now thinking about that.
It's a small moment, which is why
Yeah.
it's like it's whatever. But it is one of those things where you're like, well, Jonas Venture Jr. seems pretty game to write the prescription. So why is he upset at the end when it seems to be implied that he is writing the prescription to get the piece that they need? I don't know.
Yeah, or like do something entirely different or something. I don't know. But I'm wondering if they bring Johnny Quest back with them, or like restrain him somehow, or
Yeah, maybe.
something, because he does get out later, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's something else there that I feel is missing, and it wouldn't be an issue if we didn't even cut to it.
Yeah, true.
I think it probably has to be one of those things that was just cut out, and then they assumed nobody would notice, and here we are. Noticing.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair
because
enough.
I guess you kind of have to say, well, we got the piece. Now let's go back.
Yeah.
As opposed to keeping it there, but still, yeah, there's something weird there.
Honestly, it's never bothered me, and I'm not sure if it's going to. But now, when I watch it, I will keep an eye out for it, just to see, because why not? Who
Fair
knows?
enough.
Maybe it will actually bug me now. Maybe
I hope so.
You've ruined the episode for me.
Oh, fingers crossed.
All right, let's talk Dr. Venture and poor Sally.
Oh my god,
man.
Like,
Well,
I agree
Sally,
with.
Yeah.
No, go
Sally,
ahead.
Go ahead. Sally, I feel like we could talk about for an entire episode. She's just such a, and I think we've said it before, like such a sad story there.
But she finally
Yep.
gets, not redemption, but she finally gets her shit together, and like
Yeah,
her
she's
life
doing much
is
better.
Her life is so much better from this episode on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, especially from the end of this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, incredibly better.
being with Rusty would be the worst.
I don't even think that's a possibility. Like I don't think anybody is ever with Rusty. I don't think that would even be possible. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't admit it about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
For one, and for two, like it's just he doesn't like the fact that he's just so willing to just use her and lose her. Like it's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brok even mentions it. She's like, "Dude, that's cold." Like, what? I've seen you. I forgot what it was, but I think I've seen you rip some guy's eye out and then have him watch you beat him up. Well, he's like, "Yeah, but I never broke somebody's heart."
Yeah.
Which I also
Like,
love. Like you don't know that.
Yeah. It's a weird, like, I think I mentioned this last time when we talked about Sally and the Ice Station Impossible episode, but like there's something that like is so earnest about her that you don't often get from a lot of the other characters, where she's very trusting from the get-go. And because of that, unfortunately, Rusty marks her right away as like an easy target.
Yeah,
And
Like,
it's depressing.
it's
so
horrible.
sad.
It's like Rusty, you suck.
God. Can we have a moment of silence for for Sally?
No.
Okay.
I'll agree with no, because I think after this moment, after this episode, she's on a much better
Oh,
scale.
she's great.
And it couldn't have happened without Rusty putting her in this position, right? Without
100%.
that, she wouldn't have met JJ, and that wouldn't have happened. So
now let's not be too nice to Rusty for this.
Yes.
no, I'm just saying, yeah, he is a
God.
terrible person, and has been a terrible person, and definitely to her specifically on numerous occasions, and especially this occasion. But through the terribleness, he initiated a situation in which her life begins to blossom from here. So
Her life
Yep.
does get so much better after this.
It really does.
So now that we've kind of hit all like the peace finding missions, let's talk about the end of this thing where it all comes to a head. This is for me where JJ becomes one of my favorite characters for a while. Like I love how immediately like equipped he is for all the super science bullshit. Because like even he's not, like he mentions later, he's not into the whole like nemesis hero thing. Like it's not really his deal. Like he's kind of too good for it. So when he gets this like very much old school like boy adventurer style adventure, he crushes it because of course he would.
yeah,
Like
he is definitely Jonas Venture's son.
Oh, for sure. Like like all of his faults as well are all there. Like he still kind of sucks, but I love like who would put their only means of communication on their wrist? Like it's the first place to get tied up. Like he's so much better at this than Rusty ever was, and he has so little experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, he has been there with Rusty the whole time, just as a witness.
Yeah. Which they say at the end of the episode, where she's like, I don't think we've met, and he kind of implies that he was aware when they met in season 1.
Yeah.
It's so weird though.
It's real weird.
Yeah.
But what in this show is not weird. So
Fair point.
yeah.
Especially this episode.
Yeah.
Also, we haven't talked about Mr. Impossible.
Oh,
His
yes.
interactions.
Oh,
and God, he's terrible.
He-
like, speaking of other terrible scientists.
Like, that's the thing.
He's
How-
like, human interaction? I wonder if there's like a pill or a blast of gamma radiation. Wait, do you want company? And he sends her off with bodyguards. It's like, oh, God. Poor Sally again. Poor Sally.
Here's my thing. How horrible of a husband do you have to be to make Rusty Venture look like a good guy?
Real bad. And I'll be honest, he's nailing it the whole time.
I think
Yeah.
definitely referring to his son as the boy the whole
The
time.
child.
The
Not
child.
even- not even a gender,
Not even the
just
boy.
the child.
Not even gender specific.
And, like, forgets his name all the time. Where's Rocket? Whom?
Jesus.
You're the worst.
I do like that this is, like, the end of confident Mr. Impossible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, this
And
just ruins his life for years, which is great. Like, I like that there are ramifications to actions, and, like, the whole going nuts and trying to throw everyone out of the top floor of your impossible tower with your expanding belly, which is the only thing that's ever freaked Brok out, finally makes you come down to earth a little bit.
And I think it's funny that it's like, out of all his scientific might and all this stuff, you're like, well, I'll show you. I'll breathe real deep and expand my belly to push you out of the... I can do this!
Yeah, accidentally,
So childish.
somewhat on purpose, attempt to murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I
almost
also
legitimately kills Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of them. It's just like, he's so angered that... And so embarrassed and ashamed that it's like he doesn't care. He's just... Everyone needs to die. I think also, I may be wrong in saying this, but I think this is the last episode for Stephen Colbert for quite a while, yeah?
Yeah. I think so.
I think so.
There might be something later this season. I don't think so, but that's the only time I think they would fit him in, because it's after this. I believe we talked about this before, but it's after this where the Stephen Colbert's assistant kind of like writes him out of the show accidentally, like as an actor, or maybe on purpose. Who knows?
Maybe that assistant just hated Venture Brothers. What haven't we hit in this episode? I feel like there's so much to talk about, and I'm not sure if we even really hit everything we should have.
I mean, I think the thing you were talking about of like how good JJ is at this, and I think JJ's, what is it, the X3 or whatever, the
XX1.
Yes, that he lets the boys fly. It's like, oh my god, they have video games in the lounge.
Space Invaders.
And he has Space Invaders. And they have a lounge.
Yeah.
we got to get JJ to build us one of these. You're like, oh man, like how good JJ is. Again, to just reemphasize at just being a super scientist. It's just so incredible.
He's
so
so
amazing.
good. He's so good at his job. It's almost frustrating.
And I think his introduction into this episode is pretty great as well, when Rusty is breaking into his thing. And then the his Hispanic woman on the couch wakes up and, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, there's somebody here. And then you see JJ Venture pop up
Oh, yeah.
a little bit lower down on the couch. You're like, oh man. Yeah, just an exact one-for-one smaller replica of Jonas Venture.
I do enjoy that is 2 female fellatio jokes in a row for this show. The episode before and this one.
Yeah.
Way to be team players.
I've never tasted the flower of a woman. Wait, what? Is that a direct metaphor?
All right, is that everything for this episode? Should we move into pop culture references?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Mine. I have to go. One of my all-time favorite books, and this isn't a joke at all. Like, I love this book so much so that I made my wife read it. No, I didn't make her. I strongly suggested to the point where she finally went, fine, fuck off, I'll read it. Is Of Mice and Men. I love Of Mice and Men. I think it's one of the best books ever. It's so fucking good. But whenever there's a reference to it in anything, and there's so many references throughout all of pop culture to Mice and Men, if you read the book and just watch pop culture. You'll see what I mean. But this one, it's so rare to have it so blatantly called out when they're talking about Ned watching Rocket. It's like, you've read of Mice and Men, you know what can happen. It's like, oh, impossible! You are impossibly terrible.
He's a monster.
It's still just like I said. How do you make Rusty look good? It's not easy. You have to be especially awful.
It's very true.
What about you guys?
So mine is, I'm going to continue with I have to look things up, and also for some reason it always revolves around music, but I had to look up who Jesus Jones was.
Jesus
who sang
Jones!
the song. Yes. We thought they were going to be the future of rock and roll. They were the ones that sang that song Right Here, Right Now.
The Right Here, Right Now, Right Here, that one?
No, I think it's the one that's like, right here, right now.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah. What terrible choice of music.
Oh, what an awful song.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, I don't know. I guess the captain has some interesting choices in music.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. But I like the reference. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's just like, what... But it's also, they just fill their stuff with insane references that I'm just like, this has to be a reference to something. I look it up. Although this one's direct because he's like pitching JJ the band. Ugh.
Yeah, and I love how it seems like the captain is just kind of recapping everything that JJ might have missed.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Jesus Jones. Oh man, and you're like just going over like what his highlights of everything that Jonas Venture Jr. should have been paying attention to while he was in, I don't want to say the womb, but while he was in Rusty. I just think it's hilarious. I'm like, why this? Why not the Beatles? You didn't want to mention? No. Jesus Jones. That's what you wanted. Okay, great.
Perfect.
For mine, I think we've mentioned this before in a couple episodes of like how fucking great Hank has been and like on point with his just like one-liners or just like in those things. So when they're re-watching, whether it's Jonas or the alien, we will decide later, I guess. But when they're watching the videotape, it's like, oh my god, it's Grandpa Venture, and he's stuck in the Phantom Zone. And then he's like, oh come on. He's like, what? No, I was joking. You guys know I was joking, right? Just the random reference to the Phantom Zone, and which is in Superman and all of that. But it's like, I think it's so funny how Hank is just always like. I think it was even at the end of season 1 when Brok was like, "Where do you come up with this stuff?"
It's like the second to last episode of season 1. Do you think it's a cry for help?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's good shit. All right, so that brings today's episode to a close. Let's see, what's next week? I'm honestly forgetting. What's the next episode?
I believe it's Love Bites.
Is it Love Bites?
I think so. Hold on a second.
Sounds right. I'm looking it up. All this stuff that we can just cut out of the podcast later.
No.
No. It's all in. It's buried.
No, the next episode is... All right, I'm just going to say
Victor Echo November.
Yeah, so next week we have Victor Echo November, which is, again, fucking fantastic. So I'm very excited to talk about that episode. Has some incredible Brok and Monarch moments, and just... Oh, I like that one. Looking forward to it. And the week after that, we have Love Behets, or Bites, if you want to pronounce it correctly. But I'm going to stay with Behets. So let's move into plugs. Plugs. First and foremost, iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere you can get podcasts and review them. Hey, review this show. Rate and review it. We really, really appreciate it. Helps us grow in the ranks. And keeps more Venture Brothers fans actually finding our show and listening to it. So if you like it, let us know, and by rating, reviewing on all the platforms, and then more people listen to it, and then we can keep doing it, and all the good stuff happens. And while you're doing that, listen to After the Hype, another good show that I run, and it's we talk about movies after the hype, kind of like the title says, and it's good. I really like it. I listen to my own show sometimes. It's weird listening to my own voice over and over. I'm gonna stop talking. Nick, what do you have to plug these days?
Well, at this point, I think the game that I worked on, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, should be out.
What's the launch date?
I believe it's October 2nd.
This is definitely it's out. It's out there in the world. I'm playing it now. It's so good.
Wow.
Cool.
It's definitely.
No, wait, October 5th. Oh God.
Oh God, I lied. It's not out. It's not out. I haven't played it yet.
But you're thinking about playing it right now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Those thoughts of thinking about playing it are great.
Yeah, it's coming out on Friday, and I'm so excited to pick it up and then put it back down like Nick told us to last week on Friday. We have our own Twitter now. It's Venture Bros Pod. Be sure to check out our Twitter. And I'll post that on the 5th. I will post a video of me picking it up and putting it back down, just like Nick told us to.
Perfect.
All right. So that's it for today. I'm just skipping over Graham because I'm assuming he's not plugging anything.
Nope. I mean, I plugged in my computer earlier.
Yeah, I made the right call. I definitely made the right call. And then I fucked it up. So thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you next week. And bye!
Bye!
Ta-ta!